When you report war, you need a 360-degree perspective. And for that, you need credibility to get voices from all the stakeholders, all of the sides, and all of the countries directly involved. And that's the reason why I'm proud to tell you that India Today is the only channel that has interviews with all three ambassadors of Israel, of Lebanon, and of Iran. Here is that 360-degree exclusive. Listen to every word of these three enemy nations' envoys to India talking about what's going on.
If you say that there has been this bombing of the Palestinian people, of the destruction of Gaza, how is a missile strike of the kind that Iran has launched on Israel going to actually stop that? It will only embolden Israel even further to target Iran, possibly to target other parts where Iranian so-called proxies are there.
Can I just add there, is Iran prepared? Is Iran prepared for an attack by Israel? Because that's certainly something that's going to happen.
It's a good question. You know, the question has two parts. The first part is that the relation between Iranian strike to Israel and ongoing massacre in Gaza.
How is it going to stop it?
You know, we indirectly, when Israel is engaged with itself inside Israel, it will, and we targeted military bases, military installation of Israel. It has affected the military capability of this illegal and illegitimate regime to invade more or strike more Gaza. But
they denied, sir. Mr. Ambassador, they denied. They say your strikes have had no impact. If anything, in the last 48 hours, we've seen more Israeli strikes on Beirut, on Lebanon.
So and the Beirut airport today.
And do you really believe, therefore, that Iran's missile strikes have actually, in any way, compromised Israel's ability to attack Gaza or Lebanon or indeed possibly Iran in the future?
You know, the media in the war, during the war, or any tension, every side tried to underestimate the consequences or result of any operation. You know, we do the same. They have, but before the start of our talk, in your channel you show that Iranian missile how hit the territory of occupied Palestine and the explosion. So they claiming that they have Iron Dome intercepted Iranian missile, and the reaction of Netanyahu and other officials of Israel shows how painful this strike have been. But
you believe your strikes have damaged Israel?
We believe that. First of all, we had no option just to retaliate the invasion of Israel on sovereignty of Iran because of assassination of Ismail Haniyeh inside capital of Iran. This is the reason of our intention of our operation. This is something which should be clear for you and for your audience. This is one thing. Secondly, we targeted military and intelligence installation and structures of Israel, which affected its capability. Of course, Israel has support of United States. As you know, the new bombs which is used and deployed by Israel recently has been submitted to Israel by United States.
But you're saying your attack is for Israel's actions inside Tehran. It's not as a retaliation to the assassination of Hassan Nasrallah. The belief is that Iran has been pushed into this because you have to show the Hezbollah, you have to show your own proxies that, look, Iran will not stand by, Iran will stand with you. Is that the reason? Because the timing seems very clear. Hassan Nasrallah's assassination is followed by the missile strike.
You know, first of all, and intentionally, the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh and violation of Ismail Haniyeh inside capital of Iran
Exactly.
was the main reason of Iranian retaliation.
That's the main reason.
That is the main reason.
Not Hassan Nasrallah.
Hassan Nasrallah is something else. Hassan Hezbollah is enough strong.
Let's talk about some of the specific claims that are being made, Ambassador Azhar, at this point of time. Iran, like you rightly said, fired upwards of 180 ballistic missiles. They say that some of these missiles were of a hypersonic variety, etc. It's difficult to assess at this point because there's this fog of war. One of the more dramatic claims that they've made is that 3 air bases in Israel have been hit. There are some reports in Iranian media of tens of fighter aircraft being destroyed, F-35s and F-15s and things like that. Not to go into specifics, but there seems to be a very wide gap between what damage Iran is claiming and what Israel is confirming on the ground. Is the truth somewhere in the middle?
Well, it's very embarrassing for them, because the IDF spokesman, which is generally a very, very credible person, has said, it's not a claim, it's just reported exactly what happened, okay? What happened is that missiles have hit Israel, some of them that weren't intercepted. We didn't intercept those who would hurt essential places or civilians or military bases. And the rest we just don't intercept because it's not worthwhile to invest in a missile to intercept something that is going to hit in the open space. So it's very embarrassing for the Iranians. I understand. They have prepared all this machinery of war, spent billions of dollars on the account of the oppressed Iranian people that do not have water, that are suffering from lack of essential things in life. They have deprived them from that from them, and instead they are investing in this terror campaign to create these armies to choke the state of Israel, take control of the Middle East. These dreams have vanished. They are not worth anything.
Are you saying this was Iran's best shot? Because they've been talking about a days-long war. They've said, when Iran finally attacks, it won't be just a few salvos of missiles like what we saw last night. It will be a longer campaign that can go on for many, many days.
Well, probably.
Are you saying that this was Iran doing its best, its hardest punch?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Iran has been investing in this machinery of war and of terror, in terrorizing not just Israel. They are responsible for killing 500,000 people in Syria. They have taken hostage the state of Lebanon. With the pretext of fighting ISIS, they have created all these militias in Iraq. They have destroyed Yemen. They have destroyed the Middle East. And they are trying to destroy the state of Israel. So what happened is that they failed. They failed colossally because 2 of their main proxies in the region were defeated by Israel, and now they find themselves having at last to fight themselves, and they are failing. They might have more missiles, but whoever is the aggressor must pay a price. And I'm very glad that many countries around the world have condemned what Iran has been doing, and I'm sure we're going to find a way to send a clear message to this fanatical regime that we will not bear. They made a very big mistake. They don't understand the conviction of our people. People don't understand what is the conviction of the Israeli people, and they are claiming that we are a rotten society, because they don't understand what democracy is. When countries like Israel that are peace-loving are trying to postpone wars, not to fight, not to overreact, they take it as a sign of weakness. So they've been trying us time and again until they leave us no choice but to react.
You're here after just visiting Beirut. What's the situation on the ground? How difficult have things become for people in Lebanon?
Thank you, Gita. Thank you for having me. Well, the situation is an all-out war waged by Israel against Lebanon. The situation is bad. We have so far more than 1 million displaced. from the mainly southern part of Lebanon and Bekaa Valley, and from Beirut also. Plus, of course, you know that we have the about 2 million Syrian refugees that Lebanon hosts. So the situation on the ground is very bad. This is on the humanitarian side. On the military side, there's the daily attack by Israel, the unprecedented firepower that dropped on civilians. So far also we have more than 2,000 innocent civilian souls have perished and more than about 5,000 wounded.
The Hezbollah has come under severe attack. Hassan Nasrallah is no more, but there was some conversation about a ceasefire agreement between Israel and the Hezbollah, which of course the Lebanese government was mediating.
Lebanon is never interested in war, and Lebanon has always been calling for a ceasefire, for peaceful solution for all the crises in the Middle East. The one party who is against every political settlement is the terrorist state of Israel. Israel has always refused the political solution and has always resorted to military measurements. What happened recently, if we want to talk directly on the current situation, is that, yes, Lebanon has been working with international powers for a ceasefire on the Lebanese front and to kind of separate it from Gaza front. And there has been with the good offices of France and the USA even and some other European powers, there has been a kind of draft agreement for a ceasefire, ceasing of hostilities. But there was a kind of plot because even our minister mentioned it that late Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah himself agreed to a ceasefire. But then the assassination happened and the kind of breach of trust. Then the whole situation went to square zero.
So you are saying, did Hassan Nasrallah agree to the ceasefire agreement?
He did. Yes, he did. And there were some international envoys who were sponsoring this ceasefire. And it was, of course, it was conveyed to the international community through our foreign minister, who informed the international envoys that, yes, we are ready. Lebanon as a whole is ready for a ceasefire.
So you're saying that Israel had the option and the route to a negotiation and ceasefire with the Hezbollah that could lead to peace rather than the attack that was carried out immediately after. When was the ceasefire agreed upon? Was it just days before the attack on the Hezbollah?
It was obvious later that it was just a whole plot to assassinate Hassan Nasrallah. It was a plot that Israel would announce their first or the preliminary accept of ceasefire, and Netanyahu was in the at New York at the UN General Assembly delivering speeches, his speech, and then the assassination happened. All of a kind of plot, military plot to assassinate Hezbollah leader.